Gamers, you're watching this in the new year, so happy new year. Happy new year, everyone. I'm probably gonna say this in a lot of videos because I don't know which video is gonna go when, but I wish you guys all the best. I wish you a good year and all the fortune. With that being said, today, suggested by Women actually, we watched some of the AO4 streams and I was kind of explaining her. We watched the Conqueror 3 player and I was kind of explaining what they're doing wrong, because she was like, why are the Conqueror 3 players not higher rated? Why they're not better? Why can't they compete with the pro players? So I kind of went into explaining, and she's like, this is really interesting. Why don't you make a video about this? And I was like, that's a good idea. So that being said, today we're going to cover the difference between a Conqueror 3 player and a pro player. By the way, when I say Conqueror 3, I mean players that are like, Conqueror 3 is 1.6k rating. I'm talking about players that are 1.6, you know, maybe even Conqueror 1, 2, 3. So like 1.4k players to maybe like 1.8 versus like the 2,000 plus MMR rating players, like the top players. So that's what we're discussing here. Pro player being me. Conqueror 3 player that we're going to be inspecting is going to be Sassy. As some of you may know him, I've asked Sassy for his permission to use the replay. He said it's all good. So I'm going to show you some subtle differences and some big differences in his gameplay and my gameplay. The games we will be reviewing is my game, French versus English against Kaup, and his game, French versus Chinese against Neptune. The reason why I chose these two games is because him and I play the same civ in this analysis. And we play against the opponents that are English and Chinese, which are very similar civs as well. So I felt like it's almost perfect. And also the way the games played out are pretty similar. And I'll be able to pinpoint exactly what happened and kind of for you guys to see the differences. Like I said, some minor ones, some big ones. So let's get into it. I'm going to go over my game first. Give you guys a little bit of a thinking, my thought process against English. I know a lot of people struggle against English. But I do think that French can do pretty well against that civ if you know how to play it correctly. Obviously, if you reach a super late game, English will have an advantage. So I opened the standard here, nothing unusual, right? I'm not going to cover the build order part. I'm going to just cover the thought process that I have. So I'm going to show my vision. So I go into Scout, and what do I check? I'm checking for if the opponent is going stone or not, right? Because I want to know if he's expanding, and this is same versus English or Chinese. So I know exactly right now that he is going for stone. So the moment I see that, I don't have a build order in mind. I'm not saying I'm going 3 knights and I'm doing this and that. I am instantly making a conscious decision. I was going to go multiple knights, but I saw he's going for stone. So I instantly go for my own TC. Why? Well, if he goes for TC and I attack and I don't make a TC, I am all in. And then if he reaches castle, he's on 3 TC, I'm on 1. So at that point, the game is lost. So if you see this, I have to go to second TC. At this level, I cannot kill him with just attacking forehead, especially because he's English. And the same thing with Chinese. You can't just kill Chinese player because they have Barbican. So I instantly adjust my build, I adjust my playstyle, and I go for the stone. Same thing with my workers. I'm going to get enough food to get a knight out so I can do some harassment. And behind this, instead of having like 13, 14 on food and making units, I'm sending a lot of the villagers on wood and I'm sending a lot of villagers on stone because I know he's going to second TC and I want to match that. Now, if we're both on 2 TCs, I'm actually ahead because French produces villagers faster. Now, I'm going to speed this up. And now my plan is to just keep this scout active. I want to make sure there's no units coming on the map because I'm going greedy. I'm cutting units. I stopped making units here. I only have 4 workers on food. There you go. And you can see it's all wood and stone. So I need to make sure that there's no units coming out so I wouldn't take damage like randomly to spears or longbows or whatever else, right? And obviously I'm going to do harassment with my knights. So look at this. This is another, again, these things are what makes pro players and Conqueror 3 or Conqueror players in general at that level, right? Right now, I know exactly where his TC is going to go. I don't need to scout anymore. I know where his TC is going to go because humans, high-level players, follow certain patterns, and when you play enough of Age of Empires 4, sometimes you can know things without like seeing a TC. I can know where he's going to put his TC. There are 2 TC spots for him as an English player. One is right next to the gold, right here, to protect his gold. But based on the map that I scouted, I remember this when I played the game, and I think I streamed this game and I said I know where he's putting his TC. Why do I know he's putting his TC there? Think about that for yourself, and I'll reveal the answer. There are no deer on this side of the map. None. So that means that his deer packs are here, here, or here. There's no other place deer packs can be. Usually you want to put your TC on the gold to protect your gold. But if the deer pack is in a good position, you can put your TC on the deer pack. So I knew that his deer were there. And you can see my scouts and knight are going straight to deny the TC. This isn't luck. This isn't me guessing. I mean, it's a 50-50. It makes no sense to put the TC here, like I said, because the deer are safe. And this is something that whenever you watch a Conqueror 3 player play against a pro player, people say, oh, usually they don't make those kinds of mistakes. Kaup didn't necessarily make a mistake here. I just have a lot more experience, and you can predict certain things with fair assessment that they're going to do something. So here I go. I don't see deer pack yet, which is very good, which means it's further in. I see deer. And there's a TC. And like I said, I streamed this game and I called this out on stream. And now he's already behind. This is already a rough spot. At a high level, this is already a lot of damage done. He's going to lose a villager. He lost the walking time from stone to there. This TC is insane. He would have gold, deer, and berries. And now he has to reposition and he has to place a shit TC. Because he cannot put TC here anymore either. Because I have a knight and I can follow his villagers. So his second TC will be in a very bad position. Either here or here. There's no other place to put it. He needs to put it in the range of his TC. TC is town center. So, I'm already feeling good. Feeling great about this game. So I managed to kill a villager here. And now look what I do. I go to see if he's making TC here. Because that's the next best spot. I don't see it, so I go around. I say maybe he's making it here, maybe he's risking it, maybe he's making it here. I find a TC. I deny it again a little bit. Look at this. Idle time, idle time. He keeps pulling back and forth. This is one night, guys. I'm doing this with one night. Look at this. He's making the TC. How many villagers is that? 15 villagers. A TC that should have been finished at like 540 is finished at 640. So, now this is a thing. Can Kaup do what I just did, or Sassy? Yeah, I clicked a knight and I attacked the villagers. But this is something you have to realize in the game. This is something that you can't pre-plan, right? My plan wasn't, I'm going to make a knight and deny his TC. I don't know where his TC is going to be, but based off of scouting, you kind of quickly deduct where it can be, and you just go for it, right? So behind this, I go for my TC forward, because I know there's no pressure. How do I know there's no pressure? Because I saw no units, and if he had units, he would have defended the one knight. So I know that there's nothing on the map. I'm not worried. I'm not making any units. I'm not making any walls. I'm still on one knight the whole time. Meanwhile, he has no information, because his scout is right there, so he has no clue what I'm doing. I kill the boar and I get a pretty good TC here. Boar plus gold, very nice. And I decide, because I did such a good job early on, now I put my knight here to just patrol around deer packs to make sure he doesn't take them. And if he doesn't take these deer packs, then he's forced into early farms, which further delays his unit production. Now, why did I go for another TC here? Because I felt I was in a very good spot, and I felt like I could get away with it, even with 0 units, which is not something you are usually able to do against English players, against, like, you know, top pro gamers. So I go for the second deer pack, and look at this. Deer, berries, you got another deer pack here. So I'm on 3 TC French, which is, my villagers take 18 seconds to produce. So it's almost like a budget Song Dynasty from... you know, from Chinese. And I'm on 3 TC. I got the boar, which is really good. He's stuck in his base. Look, I'm idling his villager. This is still the same knight, by the way. Still the same starting knight. I'm idling his villagers, forcing them to move. Forcing him to keep the scout in the main base, so he knows where my knight is. I check here, no gold, and I see that he's finally making units, right? So I can see the units coming. So all this is played off of, you know, I'm still on one knight. So now I see him attacking, and I start producing units. I start adding stables, I start adding archery ranges. This TC protects the middle, because it's a very good spot, right? It covers everything. The only place he can attack is from the bottom side, or he can go all the way around, which is not going to work because there's not a TC here. He doesn't know that I'm on 3 TC, by the way. So, right now he's chilling right here. Sends his army around, because again, there's nowhere for him to go, except right there. I'm checking with my scout from the back if he's retreating. I see no army, so I know that his army is right here. There's nowhere else that the army could be. But again, there's not much he can attack. He can possibly attack the wood line a little bit, but my reinforcements will be able to take care of it. So I just counterattack instead. Again, I already know his units are here. And there they are. I moved. One villager died because he's a noob. And what do I check? I check the gold because I want to see if he's all in it or he's aging up. So I see that he's aging up. I know that I can cut units right now. And I can age up freely. I'm not worried that he's gonna kill me. I'm not going to overproduce units. I think I'm gonna start my. I already got some of the eco upgrades. I think I might get fertilization as well, because I already got this one, and I'm getting deer. I'm getting boar. So my eco is really good right now. And as you can see, with the worker split, I'll be able to age up very soon. So I mow down this pretty quickly. Meanwhile, I'm harassing his gold. I'm just denying gold as much as I can. Again, he does not know that I'm on 3 TC, so this is very good situation for me. I have a scout right here, which sees the villagers. I go for a little bit of a harassment here. Again, idling full food economy. I check the deer. I'm gonna try to peek into the wood line. Meanwhile, on the other side, I'm pushing onto the gold with the other army because I know his army is right there. Now, what am I doing? I already have a plan in mind what my transition will be. My transition will be mass knights, archers, and the crossbows. And I also want to get a keep so that I can place it down here. Not defensively, but to reduce the cost of my units so I can overwhelm English and castle. Like, I have a clear goal of what I want to do and how to deny my opponent. So again, I dive here, 1 bill, more idle time. Meanwhile, if you compare this to the damage he did to me, he killed a villager and I moved my villagers from here to there and back. So basically, way more eco damage done on one side and none on the other. Pick off a longbow there. Active knights the whole time. So one thing you can notice, and that we'll check after in Sassy's game, my units are active constantly. The knights were running from here, all the way around here, killed a villager, I think here, maybe here, went all the way around, killed a longbowman, and now they joined the forces with these ones that were also poking and harassing. Another 2 villagers go down. And not only am I forcing idle time, I'm making my opponent play worse because he has to pay attention to multiple things. That's where APM and multitasking comes in handy. What am I doing behind this? I've even taken his berries because I have full map control. He cannot push right now because I'm literally harassing his base. I'm going to take all the relics on the map because the map control is mine. There's not much he can do. I walled off the bottom side because walling this off forces him to only attack through the middle or the left side. But going from the left is kind of awkward. So I don't need to wall off full map and waste resources. I can just wall off the bottom part and I'm sorted. I'm making the keep because the French keep reduces the cost of stable and archer range units by 25%. So I'm making it here, making more production, and I'm ready to pump workers. As you can see now, I am 20 workers almost ahead compared to him. So this is a very good spot. Like, this is an insane lead. And now I'm even gonna go and take his deer, because why not? think about it. Why would he ever go here as English, right? And again, this is maybe a minor thing, right? You might not be like, but you don't need that food. But deer gathering rate is crazy good. An English player will not go for this because he already has farms. He's not going to randomly attack through here and go around. That also doesn't make sense. So I knew that I can get these deer without any issue. And that's what I did. So right now, I'm just poking, trying to see if I can do any damage. I'm collecting relics. So my goal right now isn't to kill him. I want to get relics so that, you know, I get the juicy gold. It's free. And I want to get sacred sites. So I put him on a timer. And I'm going to push at the same time. So I'm pushing for 2 victory conditions. Same thing, same idea. I'm going to go get gold over here because I feel like he's so pressed back in his base. First of all, he's not going to expect me getting gold there. And second, even if he does, I'm so far ahead in villagers that it honestly doesn't really matter. If he goes with the army all the way there, I can just run into his base and kill everything. I see Monk here trying to go. I think I sent a knight to try and get him. I try to break this wall. I had a tower just for vision, just in case. And yeah, right now I'm just pumping units. My economy is in a super good position. My units are cheaper. I think I picked up 4 relics and he had 1 relic here, so I couldn't take that one. Again, active with units, idling more villagers, which is how this is how you're supposed to play French. This is French in a nutshell. So, that was a mistake. I lost a knight. I'm gonna lose a second knight. I am mowing down these resources in the middle of the map. Now check this. This is very important. I am walling this side of the map. Why? Because I have the map control and I can deny him from entering this side of the map. He can't just come in here and go over because again, I can just chase down his army and kill him because I have more army. Or I can just go in his base. So I have the map control and I can wall him off in his base. So what is my goal right now? I don't actually need to finish the game. He's about to run out of this wood. This is not enough wood. So my next target is either attacking this wood line or attacking the gold here or the gold in the back. Because this gold is going to run out soon. So, and again, I fucked up here. I should have recaptured here. And I thought I did. I think I sent these, but I managed to somehow stop them. So the idea is I have sacred sites and he either has to come out or I go for his golds. I'm getting another keep on the middle with more production set up. He managed to get in here just before the walls ended. A bit unfortunate. And now, this is what I was talking about. He has 10 knights here. I made 2 towers. I'm going to go into the towers. And now, because I see so many units out of position, I'm just going to go ahead and kill him in his main base. I have biology on my knights, so they have extra 80 health, and I can just fight straight on. I'm still pumping units. I'm getting his berries on this side of the map, still getting the deer. I'm going to take a couple of knights and send them, I think I send them eventually here to the gold, to just try to get him to multitask and micro at different sides. And now because I have way better economy, and I have better map position, better macro, I can just run in. Even if I trade inefficient at this point, it doesn't matter. You can see I sent a few more knights through. And I'm just killing villagers everywhere. Even if I lose the whole army, the amount of damage that I'll do economically is pretty much game over at this level. Like, there's no recovering from this. All his farms are idle. He was forced to send the knights back, so he didn't even kill these villagers over here. More units are coming. And now comes the point where he will simply run out of resources because he is not gathering. And he taps out. So, this is... and Cow, by the way, is a good player. He plays a lot of English. And also, this is Lipany. It's a map where, you know, with some spawns, you can get walls really easily, depending on the mountain ranges. So, that's kind of my thought process behind it and all the decisions I'm making. So this game was pretty straightforward from my side. I don't know where's the score screen, but it's pretty straightforward. Like, everything I did there had an early lead, and that kind of early lead against the top player you don't really recover from that unless I make a big mistake, which in this game I didn't. Now, we're gonna take a look at Sassy's game, and again, I have asked him, so don't worry. He said you can be as critical as I want. He will not be offended. Don't worry, all right? I'm gonna show you what he does wrong. So Sassy, for those that don't know, I think he messaged me. He dropped a lot of points today, but he was I think rank 50. So he was, I don't know what rank 50 is, like 1.7, 1.8 Conqueror, 1.7k, 1.8k, and he's playing the against Neptune in French versus Chinese. Now this matchup, the way it works is very similar to French versus English, which is why I chose this game to show you guys. So let's look at his decision making throughout this game. I'm gonna skip this part because again it's the starting part. First things first. Again, these might be minor things, but all these things are a reason why there is a difference between top players and Conqueror players. His School of Cavalry should be here. Why should it be there? Because you want to make a keep eventually here and surround it with buildings. If you put School of Cavalry there, this mining camp is blocking it, so you can't put it. If you put archer range here, then you can't put another building there. So it just already, you know, he's aging up with 5 workers, which, you know, you can do it, but 4 workers is way more efficient and just better in general. So in my opinion, 4 workers are better on School of Cavalry and then 4 on gold at this point. Alright. The villager should already be making wheelbarrow, or mill plus wheelbarrow, but what you will notice in this game, he gets his eco upgrades extremely late. And I got my eco upgrades the moment I got my TCs up. The next thing I spent my gold on is the upgrades, the eco upgrades. And even though he's gathering gold the whole time, he did not get eco upgrades immediately. He got them very late. So he is skipping wheelbarrow, and he's, I guess, rushing feudal a bit faster. In my opinion, not worth it at all. Especially against a civ like Chinese. So now he's gonna chop some wood, and he is getting a knight. Amazing. So let's see what he does. So, what did he see? He saw a barbican right here. He saw stone right here. Gold, gold. So this barbican is pretty good. Pretty good spot. So where would I attack? I would still probably go for the stone. I would probably go from this side, check the gold, and then try to harass the stone. Because Chinese have a pretty good spot there with the barbican. And now he's going to start chopping wood, and he has 12 villagers on food, which means he wants to continue producing knights. Now, because of the way the Chinese put the barbican says a lot, okay? I don't need to scout at this point to know that he's going to go for second TC. Why? If he was not going for second TC, he would put the barbican here. Or he would put the barbican on the deer. He would not be putting barbican on stone if he didn't want to protect stone and get stone. So, or technically he could have gotten this gold, I guess, but imagine that this gold wasn't there, right? You would rather protect something else if you're rushing castle or doing something weird. Although at high level, Chinese always goes for 2 TC. So, he goes here, which is so far so good, right? You do want your scout to join right now so you can have extra vision. No wheelbarrow yet, no second TC. What does this mean? This is what I was talking about earlier. He is putting himself in an all-in position. Why? Because he should assume, you should always assume against Chinese that they're going for second TC, and he is going for the stone here, so he is assuming that. So you have to either fully all in, or you have to fully go like 1 or 2 extra TCs. And he does the middle of the road approach, which is just wrong. Completely wrong. So here, he goes in, he sees no stone being mined, gets shot. That's a mistake. Another mistake. So his knight is already half dead. It's half HP. He didn't get anything done. It was very clear that he's not going to get to here and do damage because both Barbican and TC are in range. This is the TC's range. This is the Barbican's range. So this Barbican is very well placed. So this was a pretty big mistake. And someone might think like, oh, he just took some damage. Your first knight needs to get value. Otherwise, him rushing this feudal landmark is pointless. If you're going to rush out a knight and then lose it, pretty much, because now this knight cannot dive. If it dives, it dies. If it dives, it dives. It dies. So now you can't dive anymore with it. So now it's kind of like a, you know, not great. So, and if you wanted to see where the villagers are, the scout is right there. So that was a pointless attack. Not good attack. Second knight is here. This second knight should already be on the way behind. He should not be attempting to dive this. Not against Chinese TCs. Chinese TC has the hand cannon attack, which is 25 damage. So he should not be attempting to dive here. Because again, he just took more damage for no reason. He didn't get anything done with that. And even if he did get a charge off, the villagers would get home safely. And then this knight would be like 30% health. So 2 knights, nothing done, and took damage. Third knight is coming. So now this is, again, building placement is bad because he needs to put them in order so he can put keep around them later on for reduced cost. So this is already fucked because there's a house in between and no bueno. Now, no wheelbarrow, no eco upgrades, not full all-inning, and he's not getting a second TC. Meanwhile, Chinese player has a clear path what he's doing, right? He has a clear path what he's doing. He got his Song Dynasty. He is super safe. He's got spears. There are no archers. So this guy's just chilling, right? And soon he's going to transfer his workers to stone and get a second TC for free. So let's look at Sassy's point of view. He's still producing knights. And again, nothing done with them. Also, if you produce this amount of knights while rushing castle, you need to do something. You have to do some damage. If you don't, then again, you could have gotten the second TC instead. So right now, he tried to do damage, and then it feels like, and he just gave up. Now, if you look at his scouting, he actually has no idea what Chinese player is doing. This scout did not even see the barracks. This scout should have stayed here to scout for stone. But he didn't. He's going to move this knight and scout with it, but Barbican sees that knight. Okay, now he sees spearmen. And again, the knights are idle. They're not doing anything. He's going to take some damage. So that's 2 useless knights now. And again, these guys should be already here, ready to deny and disrupt the stone. And the archers should follow as well. Like, he should just rally units from here around to this position. So let's see. Now he's gathering more gold, 5 on gold. No upgrades, 0. And he's full on producing units. Now, if he wants to all in, that is okay. But this is the part that's bad. If he made, what's it called? A blacksmith now and another archer range and all in, okay. He decided to go for the all in. That's fine. But this is the problem. Now he adds the stone. This is a losing position. This is a very, very losing position from this one. Very much so. Because you made all these units and you're going to continue making them, but there's no follow-up to it. There's no upgrades for the units. So from this point on, the longer the time passes, the more and more ahead the Chinese player will be. They're going to get second TC faster. They're producing counter units to your units. Your knights are no longer countering anything because you can't really dive under TCs and Barbican and kill stuff. And he's going to go for Chukunu and Spearman, right? And now you're going for this delayed TC, which is already too late. Because if you look at the worker count, Chinese is already ahead. So let's see the attack. Kills the scout, that's good. He forgot the knight here. This knight is just AFK, not looking at all. And Chinese player actually went and got some stone, but then I guess he decided he needs more food because the attack is coming. Doesn't attack here. Okay. Kills a villager. Not bad. So what happens now? He has no idea if there's stone mine or not. He's just not checking at all. He is rallying units to the front. Why is he not attacking again? Why is there no poking again? He just did it. He killed a villager. Why not go for it again? You can put your archers here. You see this? And you can shoot the villagers. So you can, there's a trick, right? You can put your scout here. You gain vision of the forest. You put your archers. You kill a villager. Or you kill a spearman. You force your opponent to react. You force your opponent to make mistakes. But now, what he's doing, he's just waiting there. And the units are idle. He goes for the boar, which is okay. Not a bad idea. Pretty monka-esque because he does not have wheelbarrow, so these villagers are a lot slower. And this is another mistake that's about to come up. Now the knights should be charging already into this. And when this goes back, you can kill this spearman. You see that guy? So that's a free spearman you can take right now. He doesn't go for it. This takes a little bit, as you can see. Kills it. And he gets survival techniques now. He goes with this knight. Doesn't do anything. And look what happens now. Every time he attacks on one side, the other side is idle. So he just attacked here, and this side was idle. Now this side is idle, and this side is going to attack. There's no synergy between attacking in here. Like, none at all. Now he's going for berries, which is another mistake, because you have full map control. If I'm playing French in this situation, I would play this, well, completely different. I would go probably 3 TC. But in this situation, I would just go get the opponent's boar. I would go and get these deer over here. Chinese player in this matchup is not going to go out on the map and try to kill you. They need to play defensive, right? He needs to play defensive, he needs to stay back. And this is the adjusting part, you killed the scout, right? You killed the Chinese scout. So the Chinese player, vision is non-existent. He sees nothing. He's like Jon Snow. He knows nothing, he sees nothing, okay? So, why go for berries? It's the lowest gathering rate out of any food. Now, this is also another part I dislike very much. He's slowly going for TC, but he's only going with 3 workers. So this is taking forever, right? And now we see resources piling up. 300 gold. I'm assuming he can get the chivalry and maybe another upgrade. But at this point, he only has survival techniques from eco upgrades. Now this is the funny part. If Sassy went 2 TC into an attack, okay, he would have had almost same amount of units, plus all the eco upgrades, plus 2 TC, right? But because he forced this attack and didn't do anything with it, he's at the same point that I would be, but he has no eco upgrades at all. He has no second TC, no eco upgrades, and he's already losing by 9 villagers, which is very bad. I mean, 9 villagers this early is insane. Plus the Chinese have 20% drop off, right? The knight dies. Like, these villagers and berries are no bueno. Now he goes for horticulture, which he only has 5 villagers on food, on sheep. Now what he should have done is these workers should have gone either on this boar, on these deer, or on his own deer, because he already has survival techniques from the boar. So he could have used that survival techniques and he could have skipped horticulture. He could have gotten wheelbarrow or some other upgrade, a double broad axe, because he has way more villagers on wood than he does on sheep, because horticulture only works on sheep, farms, and berries. So that's another point and another amount of resources that's basically wasted. Let's go next. He makes a tower here. Again, don't know why, because the opponent is stuck in his own base, and he knows that, right? He knows that he's stuck in his own base, so I don't know why he's making a tower. That's, again, 100 wood that could have been a little bit of a faster second TC, which at this point, making TC is almost irrelevant, because you're just going to be very, very far behind, right? Like, if you're going to make a TC, make it immediately or don't make it. Or make it after you destroy an enemy TC or do some damage, something like that. So, he's getting this upgrade, which is fine. He got this one for free. Boomery. These knights doing this, they could have done this long time ago, right? They could have done this long time ago to the Night Stone. Now, this is the thing. Remember what I said about not like a 1-2 punch? This move, even now, is good. He sees the gold mining. Good move. But you see spearmen. So what does this mean? This means that the Chinese player cannot defend this with 4 spears, clearly. This is 6 knights. So he needs to send more units. So what do? You attack with this army here. Like, that's how you play French. That's how you have to play French. That's how you have to play every Civ, right? So he sees every single spearman is here. Every single spearman. So this army should already be hitting. Not starting to attack. This army should already be hitting this. Because he's distracting this really well. Mind you, Chinese doesn't have a scout, so he doesn't know where these knights are. You can park these knights here, wait for him to react to this attack, and then mow down the villagers on gold. Instead, his army is idle. Now he sees Chukinu here. So Chinese whole army is here. Spears are here, and Chukinu are here. First of all, you insta-dive into this, because you can probably kill off a couple. This is a mistake from a Chinese player. Second, even now, this army should be attacking here, because there is nothing defending it. He doesn't see this. Late reaction. Eventually he does charge. And he does kill one. Which is okay. And now check this. He's gonna go back. And now he attacks. But this is like 15 to 20 seconds late. I would have mowed down these villagers. I would probably kill 5, 6, 7 here at least. And then you know what would happen? The Chinese player would panic, send these units there, and then you just rotate these knights and attack the gold with shift command, because the Chinese does not have a scout, and he will not see the movement of your knights, so you can do free damage. And also the Chinese player has no fucking clue where this army is, so if you parked it here, he would have no idea, because he has no scout. So he goes in here, 2, 3 villagers go down, spearman goes down, another spearman goes down, another spearman goes down, and he lost 1 knight and 1 archer for that. He has tower for vision. The tower doesn't see through forest. Now again, he's doing it. But notice, right? Notice. Now this army is going to go AFK, and this army is going to be active. They're never active at the same time. Did you guys notice that? And now the Chinese is back because this army is inactive once again. It's running. So obviously it's easy to defend. Right? Look, he's just running all the way back home. Inactive army. Chilling. Now he goes for a second TC here. Which, by the way, at this point, adding this TC is usually a losing battle. He did kill some villagers. Kind of equalize the score. And Chinese is still on... He managed to, I guess, delay, not deny, but delay the second TC. Second TC is up, but the worker count is not that bad. Now he's going for a third TC. And again, if he wanted to go for 3 TCs, he could have done that first and still made 1 or 2 knights, like I did earlier against Kaup to harass, but he could have gotten way better economy. His worker count could have been like 60 something right now. But instead he's behind because of the opening. Now he's going in. The archers are a little bit behind. In general, this attack is good, and he should have followed up with it. Like, I'm not sure why he's running that. because he sees, or actually he doesn't see because he doesn't have a scout here. But if he attacks here, the Chinese has to respond so he can attack the front again. This tower won't do that much damage at this point, and you have to attack somewhere. You can't just not do anything in Age of Empires. Now, do you remember the wall that I talked about earlier in Me vs. Scout game where I said I'm walling him in because I have the... These are 2 knights. Because I have full map control, and that's why I can wall him in. There's not much you can do about it. This walling, I actually watched this game live, and I told Marika, these walls are not going to work at all. And she asked me why, and I said, because at this point he is very far behind in terms of army and economy, and walling your opponent like this only works if you're ahead. If you're behind, he's just gonna bust the wall open and beat you, right? Because you just invested. Look at this is so much wood invested, and a tower here, and wall here. He's gonna make more walls, and you won't be able to hold it, right? If the opponent just attacks, you will not be able to hold it. He's going for more walls here, more walls there. Chinese economy is really bad right now. What he should have done, he should have gone for either 2nd TC or 3rd TC immediately with eco upgrades, then attacked and went full on because Chinese player would run out of food. He only has access to these berries. He's controlling these berries these deer right now. He has berry patch here, boar here, and deer here. So if he actually trades now evenly with even economy, if he had it, he would have won the game because the Chinese player would run out of food. So Chinese player now knows he's getting walled. So he's just gonna go and attack. Sassy has 500 stone, no 3rd TC. Why no 3rd TC? Because he made all these walls. All these walls could have been that 3rd TC, which you'll see that the walls didn't do anything. So he walls them in. Look at this army. 80 versus 38. Chinese is aging up. $82 workers to 64, 39 units to 80, and they're equal age up. 3rd TC added at 17 minutes. And now he goes for a Royal Institute, which is another mistake. Why is that a mistake? Because Royal Institute is only good when you can actually kill your opponent and when you're planning to all-in in castle because you're confident that you can end the game. He doesn't even have the eco to get this upgrade. Right? He has no eco to actually get this upgrade. This is so expensive. His best chance here would be going Guildhall and delaying the game and hopefully coming back with Guildhall eventually. Maybe getting relics here and trying to like get passive gold that way, but even that is going to be pretty rough. So, what is the issue here now? Well, the issue is Chinese army is way bigger, it's way better. Chinese also has farms, not insane amounts, but has decent amount of farms already set up. Meanwhile, from this point on, Sassy's gathering a lot from deer, or soon will be here too, but his economy is soon going to be depleted completely. And when that happens, Chinese will keep producing units, while Sassy will run out of food and die. Remember this deer pack that I said he could have gotten instantly? It's still untouched. And now the Chinese player pushes. He has way too many units. Sassy loses all the map control. So these walls, like I said, were completely useless and did not do much. And Chinese player has so many units, you could actually just dive him under TC and kill him right now. And now the game's over. There's not much you can do. He does not have royal bloodlines. I keep calling it biology. He doesn't have royal bloodlines because he has no eco for it. And that's gonna be it. Just like that. Oh, camera died? What the fuck? I have no idea how to fix that actually. So yeah, with all that being said, these are all perhaps minor things that have happened. Did the women press buttons here? No, she's not here. I don't know what happened. So yeah, all these things add up to a lot. And if he did one coordinated attack, right, when he was here earlier, and he could have attacked the wood line, that is potentially 6, 7, 8 workers, and that's amount of workers at a high level that is game ending. Remember, earlier when I played against Scout, I didn't kill workers, I just made them idle, and I was far ahead in eco. Imagine if I killed 7, 8 workers early on in the game. The lead would have been way, way bigger. And this is just an example of one game that a Conqueror 3 player makes. And again, Sassy was, I think, top 15 Conqueror, or in the world. And these are all the things that could be better / change / improved, right? And it's hard sometimes to, not necessarily to pinpoint, but to improve on these things, because if you guys remember in one of the recent videos and recent streams, I talked about how much it takes to improve once you reach Conqueror. I kind of make a little a graph of, not a graph, but I opened my paint skills and I show that early on when you're gold, platinum, diamond, the improvement is usually very fast and steady, or somewhat fast and steady, right? You can clearly see you're improving like weekly, basically. And then once you reach Conqueror 3, then the improvement is so slow, because these things are not anymore what you go into the game and you say, I'm gonna make a knight and I'm gonna deny his stone forehead, right? You have to decipher the map. You have to see like, okay, there's a weakness there. I can do that. Okay, I can't do anything. Let me adjust my build and go for 3 TC. Or his resources are very exposed. His Barbican is not in a good spot. I can go for an all-in here. And these things take weeks or months to practice and to learn, because whenever you do a game like this, let's say he plays again and he goes to TC, he plays and he does a lot better, but he still loses. Then he needs to play another Dry Arabia against another Chinese player in a similar situation and improve that one thing he messed up, but then he might mess up something else. So improvement from this point on can take weeks or months in order to adjust these things and to notice these things, to notice the patterns, and to try and fix these things. Now, when I play at this point, because I played so many games and I have so much experience playing, I don't really think about these things. I don't go into the game and I say, okay, where am I going to attack? When I play, when I scout, it kind of becomes like a puzzle solving for me. Like I just see like, okay, he has stuff there. This is open. This is harassable. This is not harassable. I should stay away from here. I should make a TC there. Like as I'm scouting on start, I already have in mind where I'm going to place my own TC, right? So I don't have to make decisions in the game and slow down my gameplay. So it's all muscle memory playing, and you kind of pre-plan the moment you scout. You kind of know what you're supposed to do. So yeah, like I said, this is just one game, but whenever you watch a Conqueror player, they all make these mistakes. Some mistakes are worse, some mistakes are you know, maybe less than these ones. And you know, these mistakes aren't something to be like, oh my god, I can't believe Sassy's not doing that. But those things will change the outcome of the game one way or the other. So especially in a matchup like French versus Chinese, which by the way, Chinese is favored. Just like if English plays well, English is favored. But this doesn't mean that Chinese player will always win, and this doesn't mean if you're a French player that you should just give up on the matchup and lose. you need to figure out and find a way to win. Because otherwise, if whenever you play a matchup and you say, oh, yeah, you know, French versus Chinese, that's okay, I lost, let's go next one. You are giving up and you're coping up that the only reason you're losing is because, oh, the matchup's favored. So then you're going to just lose a bunch of games because you gave up. A favored matchup does not mean 90% win rate for that civ. It means 52 to 55% win rate on that civ. Otherwise, we would just have complete bops, you know, like every matchup would be 90, 10%, and that's pretty much it. But that's not how the game works. So, yeah. That's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys, you know, this is the first this type of video that I made, so you know, I don't record with scripts or anything, so I hope I managed to give you guys good insight on the differences between a top player and a Conqueror player. I try to use these examples from these two games because, like I said, they're very similar in the play styles and the way that the games played out with the double TC from English and Chinese. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you enjoyed this one, I might make more of these in the future. If you're watching on YouTube, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The GG dog is right here, Otter Totter. And thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. Twitch chat, let's keep going.